Hello, this is Chaneta, author of How to Have This and That. My topic today is infinite states. I've used excerpts from Neville Goddard's Infinite States. And this is part 2 for me. Watch my video on part 1, Infinite States. Part 2 is to reiterate and to recap because I think this is important. So let's talk about infinite states. The best way to describe states is what Neville says. He says, by states, I mean attitudes of mind. To move from one state to another, you must have a radical change of mind, a radical change of attitude, a change of beliefs. That is a state of experience with a body of belief which you live by. Always expressing a state, all of us, you identify yourself with it by saying, I am poor or I am rich. I am known, I am unknown. I am wanted, I am unwanted. I am healthy, I am unhealthy. I am, it could go on indefinitely because there are indefinite states that you can fall into. And these states into which an individual son of God can fall into are many of them. Put your trust in God's name, knowing what you want. Believe that your assumption will make it a fact. Believe that you need no one on the outside to aid you, for all things are possible to God. Assume things are as you want them to be, for an assumption persisted in will harden into fact. How do you get out of a state? Through belief. You must believe. You are told that whatsoever you believe, whatsoever you desire, believe you have received it, and you will. Mark 11:24. So can you believe the precept that believing you have already received your desire will bring it forth in your world? If so, then today you can change the things that are happening in your world and the world which you don't want or like. If you can believe and persuade yourself that things are as you want them to be, to the point of actually moving into the feeling that they are true, they will be felt and seen in your world. You must feel your desires are already realized, that they are already true. For the truth of any concept is known by the feeling of certainty that the thought is true. Don't condemn yourself for the state into which you have fallen. If you don't like it, move into another state. Don't feel sorry for yourself, for if you do, you will make the state a habit and remain there for the rest of your days on earth, and you don't want to do that. Instead, you can believe this doctrine and move out of any state into another state. You don't have to remain in the state if you have made a mistake, for example. You can change the state morning, noon, and night, any time of day. I mean, in the twinkling of an eye. Because we're constantly falling into states, but we don't want to stay in an undesirable state, because then you're perpetuating that state and you'll be there for a long time or forever. You just need to change your consciousness, your attitude, your beliefs, and it will manifest for you the new state. So when I speak of states, I'm talking about states of consciousness, states of attitude of mind, and creating a new body of belief. You see, we have been programmed into these various states by our parents, education systems, religions, friends, teachers, environment, social media, etc. We did not volunteer to fall into these states. We were made subject into these non-empowering, non-beneficial states by our programs. A lot of times our parents were also programmed into living these non-empowering programs as well through no fault of their own. And what they have done is just passed on the programs to their kids. So no questions were asked, like, why am I programming my kids the way I have been programmed, especially if my life isn't working out the way I want it to? Makes sense, right? But this is what happens when you are not taught critical thinking skills. And when we're not AAC, awake, aware, and conscious, everything is a state of consciousness. You can be any man, any woman that you want to be. when you understand the mystery of states. So let me repeat. A state is simply an attitude of mind, a body of belief, a phase of experience that can be changed at any time. If you want to change your state badly enough, you will be consistent and persistent until that state changes to the state that you desire and you're living from your new state, which means that you have manifested that state. You cannot vacillate between your old state and your new state that you desire and expect to have real change, really. Where you live predominantly is what you're manifesting. Look around you, connect the dots. This is your life. You have been living in that old state for quite a while. So give yourself time to get used to the new state until it manifests for you. Don't get discouraged. Don't give up. Don't be dismayed if things are not changing overnight. You have lived from these non-beneficial states for a while. Have faith, and if you persist in your new state, it will manifest for you. If you want change that badly enough, you will stay in that state that you want. If you ever notice that at a certain time of year, we have a certain set of circumstances that happen to us, like for example, every year is hot when I'm ready to take my vacation, or I'm always broke around Christmas time, or every time I eat strawberries, bananas, or whatever, I break up in a rash. It's always these things that happen at a certain time of year. It's a pattern created in the world of states in which we all live. But you can change your state to another state at any time. I cannot emphasize that enough. You can die to one state and come alive to another. Prove it to yourself. Start living now from your desired state. Move out of your old disempowering state now. You can also take another person from one state to another by seeing him or her in a more empowering state. If they need a job, you see them already employed. If they need good health, you see them already healthy, prosperity, happiness, peace, loving relationships. You don't keep them in an undesired state, which a lot of us do. Oh, poor Mary, she's unhealthy. Oh, poor this person. No, change that state to them. You can simply do that by seeing them already gainfully employed, healthy, with the money they want, loving relationships, etc., etc. So you've taken them out of that undesirable state and put them in the state that they desire, or something even better. We are all one in God. You can do this exercise for your children, family, friends, anybody. So I'm not telling you really that one state is right and another state is wrong. No, I'm simply asking you to judge all states with love. Everyone is operating at different levels of consciousness and living in different states. Each have their own reality attached to these states. It's your choice where you want to live from. But when you're AAC, awake and aware conscious, you have choices purposely, deliberately. Neville says, I urge you to use your own wonderful creative power and deliberately move into the state of your choice. Make it now by occupying that state long enough so that it feels natural. And at first it might feel unnatural, if you're not used to, say for example, the state of affluence, being rich or whatever state, you think everybody's noticing, but nobody really cares that you're rich, poor, affluent, whatever. So keep walking in the state that you want to until it becomes natural. The moment the feeling is natural that wealth is yours, health is yours, or whatever state you desire is yours, stay in your new state long enough for it to feel natural. And if you do, that state will become your reality. Whether it's health, wealth, love, abundance, fame, promotion, or any other desire, I cannot emphasize it enough. You just can move from one state to another. It's the state of consciousness, attitude, body of belief. And when you're AAC, you can deliberately, consciously create the life of your choice. And yes, you can have this and that. Because we all have indefinite states that we can fall into. It's just a matter of choice where we want to live from, and the power to change it at any time, in the twinkling of an eye if we want to. And that is wonderful. Yes, it is wonderful. And yes, you can have this and that. This is Chaneta, author of How to Have This and That. Thank you for buying my books on Amazon.com. Before you go, this is what I want you to do for me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel below and click like. Share my YouTube channel with other people and ask them to click like. Follow me on Facebook, Chaneta V. Cummings Lewis, and my fan page is Health, Wealth, and Time Freedom. Instagram is also Health, Wealth, and Time Freedom. Be awake, aware, and conscious. Yes, you can have this and that. That is health, wealth, and time freedom all at the same time. Isn't it wonderful? Yes, it is. Thank you for being a part of my world where all things are possible.